Hi, it's me again with Corel Raw Tips and Tricks. And just the other day, somebody sent me this photograph and it's crystal sharp. I mean, one of the best things I've ever looked at. And he wanted to do this. He wanted to remove the background. And I did, and I sent it to him. I was not going to make a video on it. I'm going to put it at the back of the page just so you can see that the background's gone. And then the gentleman asked how I did it. I'm not going to bore you with the time it takes. Probably takes about a minute to trace, but I did do something different. I traced this with outline trace, and normally I go clip art. This time I went high quality image because it is high quality and it actually helped. So I nudged my trace version down, left, right. I did it over here. And this is so easy to get rid of this black ring. Some people are going to say, well, you could have removed the, I'm going to ungroup it. You could have removed the background. Well, there's so much black in the drawing itself. So I'm just going to start clicking on these rings and deleting them. And there's one right above his head. If you see the collar down here, would probably leak. So what I would do is take the shape tool, and because it's ungrouped, you can move that. That's going to keep the color from getting in there. Don't really know about this other stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Now down here on his arm, I set his drawing tools on a hairline, and I'm just going to go from there to there. From there to there. I'm not trying to make them perfect. We can always change it later. Use a 2-point line there. Now there's some rough stuff right in here, and if we take the yellow box trick, in this case I could have used red. But see, it's transparent, so the trace is going to get in there, but we can get rid of that. Now, take a rectangle, just put it around your item. Take the Smart Fill tool. What the Smart Fill tool does is makes a new item. It's going to take just a second because it's got to get on those little facets. And whenever you're doing something like this, the main concern or main thing you need to think about is to nudge and not move. Don't move something by hand because you'll never get it back to where it was. So this is done. I'm going to click on it and nudge it out of the way. I am going to left click, right click. I am going to go to Object, Break Curve Apart, and I am going to get rid of that outer box. Now you can see the roughness. So I would get rid of these by deleting all the interior nodes, not the nodes that are on the shoulder themselves, but any node that's not, in a line. It looks like it messed it up, but promise me, or I'll show you, select everything, right click your mouse and turn them into a line. Then we'll do that one more. Whoop, I don't want to delete that. I just want to delete that. There's a little bit of a same thing going on down here. And the good thing about this, we can actually do this later. Right click, line. We could, smooth it out. If you have X7 or above, let's go ahead and take, it's hard to say what that is. Right click, turn it into a line. Now I'm going to take the smoothing tool. If you have X7 or above, it'll smooth that out just a little bit. Over here, kind of the same scenario, a little bit rough. And since the picture's so smart or so smooth, let's bump this up a little bit. Click on the line. Sometimes it's hard to click on the line because it's just a line. I'm going to call that good. Now here's the other, well, there's one more bad spot that we want to get rid of. And like I said, I should leave one to show how you could fix it later. Turn it into a line. All right. I'm not gonna, if this is bad, I'm gonna leave that right there. That might not be a bad spot. His head's not perfectly smooth, so, just delete 2 interior nodes, maybe delete a couple of nodes that are too close together. Now, here's kind of the key to this whole thing. I'm gonna get rid of that box. Here's our original picture. I am going to smart fill. For this to work, I need to smart fill, so I need to make a new object. Now I'm going to cursor up and over. I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to go to the intersect tool. Look at that. And if we put in the yellow box, trick, you can see the background's completely gone. I did pretty good. Now, what I said about it, we could do it later, because we can still do this now. And you see, it's actually, the picture is kind of still there. So you can really play around with this. For what I think this gentleman's doing, this is all you need. That way you could kind of look at like, nope, we did pretty good. Now, where was that other little not bad spot, but right in there, is that part of the drawing? Take the shape tool. Look at that. We could actually delete those nodes. Right click, turn them into a line. Now, what we don't want to do is then right click, turn them into a curve, because then we can actually bow this out and see what that part of the uniform looks like. That's pretty cool. Pretty sharp. I don't know about all these nodes right here. It looks pretty good, but if you delete them, you got a smoother line. Right up here, nothing really wrong. So where I see some black, you could add a node by double clicking and bring that down. Just kind of personal preference on how detailed or close you want it to be. That's a pretty cool drawing. Anyway, and then don't really need to group it together, but then you can make it that size that he sent it to me in, or whatever you want. Just remember to have when you do that, well, just have your drawing, well, you don't need to, because you've already got it. Unless you're going to cut this out, you don't need a cut line. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.